morning. Now, a number of EU leaders are backing Ukraine's bid to join the organisation, saying it should be given immediate candidate status. Meanwhile, in Severodonetsk, fighting rages on. Iuliia Mendel can speak to us live now from Kyiv. She's a former spokesperson for President Zelenskyy and a contributor to the Washington Post's Global Opinions section. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. Give us a sense, first of all, of the situation in Severodonetsk. We're told about the significance of the area, but we mustn't forget the many civilians who are still trapped there.
Well, thank you. Yes, this is one of the hottest spots of battle of Russian army in Ukraine right now. So Ukrainian army is standing there for weeks already, trying to defend this city, which is very crucial for the Donbas region. There are around between 500 and 600 of people who are trapped in one of the plants there, and among them 38 kids. Ukrainian authorities were trying to do everything to evacuate them, but now evacuation is impossible because it is very dangerous. Russians shootings all the time, and we are afraid that we see the repetitiveness of the situation that used to be at Azovstal plant. So Ukrainians are not going to give up, and Ukrainians are standing for our land, but it's very difficult right now, and we do not know what is the future for all those people there.
And what are conditions like for them there? Do they have access to food, to water, to power?
Well, the conditions are very difficult. When you live under the shelling, of course, you do not have the conditions of a normal life. And we do not know about all the details of their being there, but definitely this is the plant. This is not the home or the place where they can go shopping. This is not the ordinary situation. They are trapped, actually, and they hear shelling from different sides and from above all the time. So, of course, they have shortage of food and shortage of water. They do not have conditions as normal as having toilets or medicine or any care that they would need. In fact, they are fully trapped under shelling, and the situation is very horrible and very dangerous for their lives.
And is there any effort at the moment to get those 500 or 600 people out?
Ukrainian authorities are making the efforts all the time, but the latest information, what we've heard, that Russians do not allow to evacuate them. We try to negotiate the opportunity for evacuation, humanitarian corridors all the time, but in fact, when Russians become that aggressive, we saw it previously in Mariupol and in other cities, they just constantly keep shelling to show their brutal force. And this is how probably they try to blackmail that Ukrainian forces give up the land, and then they can, take Ukrainians to Russian territory or through filtration camps, as they already are doing in other captured, occupied cities of Ukraine.
Let's talk, if we can, about the meeting yesterday between the leaders of France, Germany and Italy with President Zelenskyy. How important was that meeting? Not just symbolically, but there's been some criticism, hasn't there, of those nations maybe not supporting, particularly when it comes to weapons, in the way that, for example, Britain has.
Well, thank you. Yes, this was actually a very important arrival, and significantly as a symbol, of course, because one can talk a lot, but words will never replace such a support as a visit. And you know that when 4 leaders of European countries arrived to Ukraine, there were air alerts, which meant for Ukrainians that Russia sent missiles to some parts of the country. However, yes, Ukraine does not trust words anymore, because one can tell a lot about provision of different types of support, but we see that there is a huge delay of the promised things, especially from the strongest European Union countries. We saw that there was the support at the moment from France that provided us 6 types of weapons that are very needed to Ukraine. However, Ukraine was asking for 100 of them more, and we are definitely not enough of weapons. Ukraine has a shortage of weapons, and Ukraine has a shortage of needed ammunition. There are a lot of Russians in different Ukrainian territories, and they constantly attacking and try to move inside the country. So to defend our land and to get out of Russian army, actually to start negotiations, to push Putin to negotiate, we must show the power. We cannot do this without weapons. We saw again that the European Union leaders promised us to give as many weapons as needed, but we expect the first delivery on only 3 pieces of weapons at the end of July or August from Germany, which is quite a huge delay for us, and we would like to speed up the process of provisionals of needed ammunition weapons. For you to understand, this means the lives, and not only the lives of Ukrainian soldiers who are defending Ukraine, but also the lives of all those civilians who are trapped in the shelling and the bombing and in occupied territories.
Yulia, thank you so much for speaking to us again this morning.
Thank you a lot for having me.
Thank you, and we will speak to you again. We will stay in touch with you. That is Iuliia Mendel, who is a former spokesperson for President Zelenskyy and also a contributor to the Washington Post Global Opinion section.